Hi everyone, welcome to this week. I have been working a bit on Alice and I've been working in the evening under lights and thinking, she's looking good, and then I come down in the morning and think, oh dear, so different colours look in daylight as opposed to under artificial lights. So I got really carried away. So I'll show you before I'm going to white her out completely. really floral bonanza. So I've got to do it. I came down this morning and thought, my word, it's all too much. So I'll start at the top, scraper, right, and I'll do that. Let's try and I need to put my brakes on. And I'm aiming just for a light cover over the whole thing. I have also been working, I've been doing portraits. I've had a lovely time with that photo album, and it's the same thing. Quite often I get the image in, and then when I lay the protective sheet in a photo album, I prefer looking at them through the veil, through the filter of a sheet of the paper, just so that it takes things back a bit. I know it's probably actually easier for me to do. I will put this on the table. I thought I'd share my situation on the end of the kitchen table, which is rather lovely. I thought I'd just talk a bit about what happened doing these portraits. I've been using a mix. I've got the Caran d'Ache Neo colour crayons. These are water soluble. The watercolours. I've got my acrylics to hand, smalls and bigs, and trusty woodies, and the lovely watercolour pencils, the Caran d'Ache watercolour pencils. I've got a few more colours hopefully coming in the next couple of days. With my most recent page, I did using the brush and just watercolour, no underdrawing whatsoever, and I really enjoyed that. This old photo album is not watercolour paper, and I've noticed also, particularly with the acrylic paint, as I've got more down, it's starting to pill. I've got watercolour paper. I could make one. I might make one. I'll see. But I'm going to keep on in here. I'm going to just try and aim for very loose, free, watercolourish portraits. Last night I worked again, and I didn't even have to wait to come down to see Alice to know that I gave myself permission to abandon it completely. I made some notes this morning. I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about how it is important to give yourself permission to move on. I was thinking about the questions that it was throwing up, how important for me, any kind of painting, it needs to prompt some questions about how it's still always about how you want to cultivate your own style. How I love drawing inspiration from other artists' work. I want to investigate it. I want to stay curious about it. I want to know more about them, their time in history, etc. But ultimately, I want to do all those things to feed into finding and reinforcing my own style, my own artwork. So that was a point that I got to with the Alice painting. What am I trying to achieve here? I'm fighting with it. When I stand back, do I see where it's going? No. I lost an initial freshness of it. Yes, that's quite often the case for me. But I kept going because it wasn't obviously strong enough to my eye at the time. Is it worth me continuing? In this instance, no. So I'm not going to waste the canvas or a lot of the paint that's on there. What to do? So I just kind of intuitively let it run into florals, and it's here. It's here. It's got the kitchen towel stuck to the base. So that was Alice. And again, it's not something finished, but I kind of connected. I feel there's something of myself in there. What you're after, I guess, is something that resonates with you, your personality, your likes, what pleases your eye, what you're wanting to express. And this is quite bold, big shape, lot of colour, and a little bit of line. The colour makes for boldness, and the shape, colour and shape make for boldness if they're big and bright. That's where we are, Alice is no more. One of you lovelies in the comments asked if I've ever done self-portraits, and this morning I'm going to dig out. I've got 3. I did them years ago, and I can't remember whether it was for the foundation course or my degree, but I have got 3 self-portraits from quite a long while back now. This is the first piece of portrait work that I could find that was a submission. I think it was pre-degree work, and I obviously couldn't fit. I don't know if I wanted to put the head in, but I decided to put the faces into the body. It's very, very strange now looking at this. It seems so long ago. So that's number 1. This is the second, and I cannot find the third. And I chopped the head off. I chopped off the top of the head, getting it into a frame. Oh, the sun is shining, but it's really, really cold out there. Right, I can't bear to look at that any longer. So, I'm not going to do any more on here for a little while. I'm going to just let that sit. That's where I am with the Christopher Wood interpretation. So I've got those 2 on the board. Oh, Patricia, if you're watching, Patricia said, name one of those Alice Mumford inspired paintings, Alice's Table. I thought that was lovely. So thank you, Patricia. Patricia, that is a lovely suggestion which I'll take and use. The doorbell went, so I've paused and unboxed my pencils from Art Discount. This is in the UK. The nice thing about using the watercolours is that because they're washy, if I feel like something is just too strong, I'll just put some water, make a really watery mix, and then lift it with a paper towel. So I do enjoy many of the features of watercolours. And I'm trying to build up slowly here. I know there are lots of adjustments yet to be made, but I'm trying not to think too far ahead, just hang in with it. I will no doubt overwork and then have to try and sort of pull it back. So here's a great example. Wow, far too much redness going on there. So I'm pretty sure that I do have to, go in and try and lift some of that up. I use the watercolours to put a background down, and I'm not happy. I know that I'm not happy with that. But again, as always, I'm not going to worry. I know that I'll just leave that to dry. I can change it. And rather than come in with more watercolour, I know in the back of my mind I can put acrylics to that if need be. For me, what I've noticed is it's a constant swing between too strong. I get, particularly with the eyes are not really showing up, so I strengthen up the eyes, and then oh my word, the eyes are too much. So it's this constant pulling back and strengthening in to try and just get the balance, which is so tricky. And I think all you have to keep telling yourself is just keep going, leave it to dry, add a bit more, keep going. Because it will come. And even if it doesn't come on this particular page, I've had good practice. I've got things that I know worked, and I can use those the next time round. I worked on more, I carried on, and this is the end result. I decided to go with the acrylics for this background and her top. I keep meaning to say that the reference material for this portrait is the George Clawson. I'm not sure if it's Clawson or Clausen. It's that image that I talked about last week, and I've used it a few times because she's so lovely and there's so much information I can get from that, as well as making an interpretation, as opposed to trying to get something that is exactly the same as his. I'm really enjoying that. I'm really pleased with my little selection of new Caran d'Ache watercolours. They are, I've mentioned them lots of times, they're the Supracolor 2 Soft, and I particularly like dabbing them in the water. They're lovely. So I'm building my collection of those, and it's really good fun rather than having a set that come in a tin. I mean, it's lovely if you get a set in a tin, but it's really nice just adding every now and then, going through the big colour chart and pulling in a few more. So that's Caran d'Ache. I've also this morning worked, I've got, which brush is it? Oh crumbs, light green with some white, just to go in a bit more on here, and I'm wondering whether to tidy up any more in the background or sort of leave this for a little bit just to see what I think on that. And then that leaves the big old question of what am I going to do next? Well, I know I want to do more portraits. I know that for the next few weeks I'll probably be working mostly in the house when I can get a bit of time. What have I got in the cabin? I could and should bring down an unfinished chair for this easel. I have got a few things then. That I don't really want to do too much more to that. I have been asked in the comments quite a few times over the last few weeks about how I attach paperwork to a board. Somebody in particular asked, I think if I remember rightly, about a deep-edged wooden tray frame, I guess, panel, a deep-edged panel. We use the thinnest panel we can, and because we then set that within a frame. So I'll film that for next week. I'll just go through quickly again how I attach that, press it, etc. So I don't want to do too much more on that one. I've got a little selection of odd things. Craig keeps saying to me there are three frames left out there in this size. So again, I didn't feel that I wanted to do too much, but I'll strategically place these around the house and see whether or not I want to put more on them, what that might be. That I need to top coat. He has a frame for that one. So, and they almost make a little duo. I need to do more on there, so I thought that would be nice to work on. And then I've got the canvas. I think I'll try and get that finished up. Also, we'll see how the week goes. I'll end here. This seems like a good place to stop. Have a fantastic week, everyone. Where are we? Oh, where are we? Well, December's just racing by. This coming week, no, will we? Yes, so when this video goes out, we'll have just this Friday, Saturday and Sunday will be the last 3 days of a general exhibition down in the Pantiles. So if you're in the area, we have water, Tunbridge Wells on the main news, because for a few days we had no water. That was interesting. It happened last year as well, but it makes you realise the luxury of having clean running water. We're so lucky. Anyway, so if you do visit Tunbridge Wells, the General Art Society there is some fantastic paintings down there by local artists. It's rammed with some great work and ceramics, cards. It's lovely. Oh, lots of work in the browser. It's great. So it's busy. It's a busy time for everyone. Have a lovely week, whatever you're up to. Have a go at some portrait work. And give me any top tips as well. All advice is always welcome. Have a lovely week, everyone. Thank you for tuning in again, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.